How is it going, everybody? This is the what about I don't know what this channel Starzuka. This is Starzuka. This should be interesting. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and now is the perfect opportunity to do this. Oh, great. I'm going to do a ranking of the best Resident Evil games of all time. And I love Resident Evil. It's one of my most favorite game series. Probably one of my most favorite game franchises of all time. I love Resident Evil. So I should have a great time covering this topic, and I hope everybody that's watching this video will also enjoy this video. And I'm trying to see. All right, let's get right down to it. Number 9 will be okay. Now, see, I hope people do not get mad at me, but I mean, this is completely my opinion. You know, like I could be totally right or totally wrong depending on the person listening to this. So I mean, I hope nobody gets mad at me. This is just all purely my opinion, so nobody get angry at me, please. So all right, but I mean that's what makes these videos interesting, right? We like to hear other people's like different opinions of what they like and what they don't like. You know, just like we like to hear different opinions, or we like to hear other perspectives. I mean, that's the whole reason why we listen to these videos, right? So we can get somebody else's perspective on a situation and see how they feel, and see where they feel similar, where they feel different. You know, how they perceive the situation. You know. So all right, let's get down to it. People, do not get mad at me, please. Number 9 is Resident Evil 4. The original Resident Evil 4. I was not a big fan of Resident Evil 4 when I think because like I saw all of the reviews, like everybody was like hyping this game up so much. There was like so much hype around this game. Everybody was talking, this is the best Resident Evil ever. And then like they got me really excited, and I was just like, oh man, so this is gonna be the best Resident Evil ever. And then everybody got I think it was just all the positive talk who got my hype up, my excitement up. So when I actually tried the game, I was like, this game is not as good as everybody says the game is. This is the only Resident Evil game I did not finish, and I did not finish the game because, I mean, frankly, like two reasons. Because my computer could not handle the game. So the game got really demanding to the point where like my computer could not handle the game anymore. I made it to the island at the end of the game, but yeah. But by that point, my computer was crashing trying to run the game. So, but I mean, I don't know. It was just like, but even up until that point, even up until I got to that point, to the island, I really was not. I mean, the game was not bad. It's not a bad game. It was all right. I guess the game was okay. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give the game like a 6. It was okay. I don't know. I mean, I liked. The game is intense. The game can be fairly intense. Like all the enemies like trying to attack you, all the enemies like trying to kill you, and then you got to fight all these enemies. Like Like I like that one part where you're in that house with that one guy, that one Spanish guy, and then like the house is getting stormed, and like you have to defend the house with the guy, and that was pretty intense. That got my adrenaline rushing. But I don't know. I mean, when you first discover the what is it called, the Las Plagas for the first time, and you're just like, oh my god, these guys are not zombies. What are they? And you're just like fighting them for the first time. You're like, oh my god, these guys are like way smarter than zombies. And it was just like, I don't know. When you go to the church, the church was pretty interesting. I like the church. You go to the church and you got to fight all those monks. I mean, the monk zombie monster guys. I don't know what they are. Las Plagas. That was pretty interesting. I mean, yeah, there were some interesting points in the game, but overall, to be honest, I just did not. The game was. The game is just kind of an ugly game. I think one of the biggest draws for me is the style of the game. Is the game visually pleasing to look at? And honestly, this game was a pretty ugly game for me. To go from Resident Evil 1 remake and then to Resident Evil 4, if the game felt like a downgrade to me, because like Resident Evil 1 was such a beautiful looking game. Like the mansion was such a beautiful looking mansion. And then to go from that beautiful mansion to this ugly brown, lots of ugly brown. What am I saying? I'm wearing brown right now, but the game is lots of brown, lots of gray, and a lot of just ugly, like dead trees. And the textures, like I don't know why, like I noticed this like when I played the game, like the textures are like super blurry in this game. Like the textures of the buildings, the textures of the ground, the walls, like the textures are just blurry. And I could see this, like I could see this even like on a standard definition monitor, but it was just like a very ugly game, and it was very hard for me to get into the game because like the game was just visually not pleasing to look at. And one of the biggest draws for me of the game is visuals. Is the game visually appealing to look at? And this game was like not visually pleasing. And I don't know. I mean, Las Plagas is fine and everything, but like I don't know. I just prefer the classic, like traditional, like zombies, like the zombies like eating you and biting you and and then the walking to you slowly and just building the tension. I don't know. I just prefer the zombies. So yeah, I think that's everything I need to say. I don't know. Should I spend 10 minutes on? Maybe I should spend 10 minutes on each ranking. But yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, what else is there to say? I don't know. The quick time events. I'm not crazy about the quick time events. I felt like it just kind of like. I don't know. I'm not crazy. I don't hate the quick time events. I don't love the quick time events. I don't know. I mean, it made the game feel more scripted, and some people can argue being a scripted game is not a good game. I don't know. The quick time events made the game felt more scripted, and it just made the game felt more constricted. I don't know. Like, just made I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. So I think that's what I got to say for Resident Evil 4. I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. Oh god, this is another not a very, I don't know. Wait, let me see. Okay, number Number 8 will be Resident Evil. Oh god, this is gonna take a while to cover all these games. Resident Evil. I hope you guys are okay with long videos. This will probably be a long video. Number 8 will be Resident Evil 5. This game is basically the same problems as Resident Evil 4. This is a very ugly game. I'm sorry to say. It's the same problem, the same exact problem. They chose to set the game in another ugly location, and they chose to do the game in the ugly I don't know, what do you call it? The ugly brown desert. The ugly brown dirty desert. And this game is pretty ugly. I mean, oh yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at the game right now. I'm like, man, that is an ugly game. Like the character models are ugly. The location is ugly. Everything is ugly. Chris is not a bad looking model though. Chris's model looks pretty decent. But I mean, other than Chris and Sheva's a decent looking model. Other than Chris and Sheva, I mean, everything else about the game is pretty ugly. I mean, look at that, how ugly that game is. I'm sorry. It's so much ugly. Just run down houses, run down ghetto houses, and look, I'm looking at more ugly. Blood coming out the eyes and the nose and the I don't know, just the rundown buildings. It's so ugly. The shabby looking town, very ugly, and just having to look at this ugly for 10 to 12 hours is rough on the eyes. I mean, this game is not. Well, I don't know. Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 5 are both pretty ugly games. This game might be slightly better looking than Resident Evil 4 because the textures are more clean and polished. But I mean, this is the same problem I had. I'm looking at ugly for the next 12 hours. Just when I was playing Resident Evil 4, I was looking at ugly for like 10 to 12 hours. I'm hoping Resident Evil 4 Remake will be a much more beautiful and polished game than the original. Maybe when I make a new list, I can make a new updated list with the Resident Evil 5 or 4 Remake. I don't know what I love the co-op, the cooperative action. I had a good time. The only reason why I'm bumping this game up above Resident Evil 4 was the cooperative action. I enjoyed the cooperative action. I had a good time playing this game with my friend. It was fun kicking butt together with my friend, kicking kicking butt together with my friend, and it was a good time. This was only good action. I mean, this game is pretty action packed. The punching people in the face and drop kicking people in the face. That was pretty awesome. Yeah. Good action. I liked how Wesker and Chris's like story came to a climax, and Chris and Wesker finally got to settle the score after all these years of duking it out with each other. That was good. And I mean, I like Chris. Chris is my favorite character in the Resident Evil franchise. So, playing as Chris is a good time. I think that's it. I mean, this game made a lot of memes too. The boulder punching got a lot of memes. So, I mean, this game gets a couple of points for the there is some good in this game. The game was responsive. The controls were good. The game felt good controlling. It was like responsive and good. I like it. The game was good controlling. Not a frustrating experience. Um, Fighting the chainsaw guy is a good time. I had a good time fighting the chainsaw guy. That the chainsaw zombie guy got my adrenaline pumping. That was a good time. And yeah. Jill makes an appearance in this game, and I mean, I like Jill. Jill's my favorite character too. So I think that's everything I got to say about Resident Evil 5. Yeah. This was an okay game. It was decent. I mean, I'd have to probably give this game like a 6 out of 10 too. Maybe a 6.1 out of 10. Just barely edges out Resident Evil 4. Okay. So, coming in at number 7, Resident Evil 7. Okay, so I have mixed feelings about this game. So this was basically like Capcom just did a hard reboot of the game. They did a hard reset. Everything that they were going for up until this point, they just completely just threw out the window and just did a complete reset. And I would say they did an okay job with the reset, because Resident Evil was going for a really action kind of pace, and it was straying from the horror roots, and then Capcom was just we got to go back to horror, and they did an okay job. There's not a bad Resident Evil game. There's no bad Resident Evil games. The mainline Resident Evil games, there's not a bad one. And I liked Resident Evil 7. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. So, oh my gosh. So, oh god, that scared. Okay, that scared me. I will say right now, you only need to play the first half of the game. You only need to play the first half of the game. You play the first half of the game. That is the peak of Resident Evil 7. Just play the first half of the game. The first half of the game is the peak. I would even go as far as play the first quarter of the game, the first third of the game, and that is the peak of Resident Evil 7. So this game is very strong in the beginning. The game is very strong in the beginning. The beginning is very unsettling. It's very creepy. It's very strange. You go into these abandoned houses. You go into an abandoned house, and then you're exploring, and you're just trying to understand what happened at the house. And it's just an abandoned house in the middle of the forest. And now I will say this game is a pretty game. This game is pretty. The houses that you explore, they're you can feel the people that used to live in the house. You could feel that there was life inside this house at one point, and you can see the history in the house, and the family, how they lived their life in this house. And it's just it's hauntingly beautiful. It's the house is hauntingly beautiful, and it's yeah, and you explore the house, and then it's you're trying to understand more and more what's going on, and then you finally bump into the crazy wacko family. What are they called? The Baker family or something? But they're crazy and they're wacko. And the game has strong Texas Chainsaw Massacre feelings. The game feels like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre horror. And I really liked that. I really liked that, what they were going for. I liked that the crazy psycho family running around with like chainsaws and trying to kill you, running around with an axe trying to kill you. I really liked that Texas Chainsaw Massacre horror that they were going for in the beginning, and I wish they stuck with that. If they stuck with that, this game would have been so good. And like the game would have been like easily like an 8 out of 10 for me. Like I really liked the whole like hillbilly, you're in the countryside and you're in this crazy wacko family's house and you're like exploring their house and trying to understand what's going on, what happened to them. I really liked the wacko family and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That feeling of dread and terror was so good. And I wish they kept that going for the whole game. But then, what prevents this game from getting higher? The game would have been higher on the list if they had kept that momentum going. And that seems to happen a lot with the Resident Evil games, is where they have very strong momentum in the beginning, and then like they lose their way. And they lose their way. They lose that momentum. They lose that energy as the game progresses. And that's what happened in this game. The game loses momentum. It loses that energy as you get farther into the game. The game loses its way. And the game, I don't know if the game forgot the identity. The game forgot what the game was trying to go for. But that's what happened with Resident Evil. That's what happened with Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7, it went from like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of game, and then like it ended up like becoming like, I don't even know what the game ended up becoming. Like the game becomes like it went from a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, and then it went into like I don't even know. Like it went into like a Saw kind of a game. It went from Texas Chainsaw Massacre to Saw, because like with the son like making you play his game and having to do like the play his game and having to like play his game or else you die, and it turned into like a Saw kind of a horror. And I was just like, nah. Like I really like that terror, that terror of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, this crazy family just trying to kill you. I really like that. And then it went from that to like Saw, like, oh, you need to play the game. You need to play his kooky game or else you die. And it changed directions, and then I was just like, nah. I was not really feeling the Saw section. And then it goes completely topsy-turvy, and now we're going into like the Ring territory. We're going into the Ring territory, the Grudge territory, like a creepy little like ghost girl, like that has the telekinesis powers that can like move objects with her mind or something. Or I still don't even understand what was going on. It was just like, but it was so good with the Texas. You were so terrified of the family trying to kill you, and then it switched over to this little girl with long black hair, like with telekinesis powers. It just like it completely changed directions, and I was just like, it just like, for me, the flow got ruined. And I'm just like, where are you going with this? And it's just like, I don't know, man. And it just completely like throws you off. That terror. The terror was so good. And then the little girl with the long black hair with the telekinesis powers, she was not scary. The psycho family was scary, but the little girl was not scary. So it was just like, I don't know, the pacing just was kind of like all over the place, and then like I don't know, just like the flow just changing directions like that on you, going completely topsy-turvy on you. I don't know, man. It was just Yeah. So, uh, I don't know. The flow just it threw me off, and I the changing the directions, and it was so strong in the beginning, and then just like constantly the pacing was changing and throwing you off, and I don't know. Like it's like the game lost focus. The game lost focus of what the game was trying to aim for. So yeah, that's my. I'd have to give this game like a 6.5 out of 10. The game was. I mean, it was okay. I mean, it was. The game was so good in the beginning. Like honestly, just play like the first half of the game, and then that. I would say just turn off the game after that. That's the peak experience of the game. Number 6, Resident Evil 6. People are like, how can you put Resident Evil 6 above Resident Evil 7? And I don't know. I mean, I actually enjoyed this game. This game was pretty good. Like, honestly, guys, no, I'll give the game a 6.5. I'll give the game a 6.5 out of 10. This game was pretty good. The action was good. Okay, this is like, I felt like this game managed to find a good balance between horror and action. So this game was a little bit more scary, and the zombies come back. The zombies make a comeback. So instead of you punching people with Los Plagas in the face, now you're punching zombies in the face. I liked that. I liked that the game went back to zombies, and I don't know. I mean, I like this game. It was the city, the areas that you go to are pretty. You go to like a Chinese city, and like the bright neon lights and the bright neon buildings, and it was a pretty game, and I liked the game, and the game was good action. I liked running around and drop kicking zombies in the face. It was a good time, and people talk crap about the game, but I mean I like the game. I people are like, oh, this Leon campaign was the best. Honestly, all the campaigns were pretty good. Leon's campaign was the best. His campaign was the best, but like Leon's campaign felt the closest to like a traditional like Resident Evil experience. Ada Wong's campaign is pretty good too, and I really I like how all the campaigns just like mesh together to like put like pieces of the puzzle together to explain to you what the entire story is, and you like understand the story more and more from the other perspectives of the other characters, like all piecing together like a puzzle. I really, you get to play as Leon, you get to play as Chris, you get to play as Ada, you get to play like everybody in this game, and it's like it was good. What I really liked about this game was I liked how like as you progressed further into the game, the characters would get like muddied up. They would get like muddied up. You would see like their uniform tearing up. You could see like the dirt on their face. You could see like all the grime and the dirt, and it was like kind of like the game showing you. The game was like a way of showing like all of the progression you made throughout the game, like all the tears and the smudges and the bruises on your character. It showed everything that your character went up through, all the progress you made in the game up until that point. So this game was pretty good. If I had a choice, I would give the game like a 6.9 out of 10. I don't know. It was pretty good. And I played this game with my cousin. So I have like special memories of this game because I was like playing this game with my cousin. We were like kicking butt together. So I mean, like this was a pretty good game. And yeah. So I mean, what else is there to say? Helena. I liked Helena. Helena was a nice character. There were some nice new characters in the game. I like the Helena. I think that's her name. Uh, yeah, she's pretty hot too. So that's good. Um, I don't know. Oh, Sherry Birkin, Wesker's son. I don't know about Wesker's son. That like Wesker's son felt kind of generic. Chris's um Chris's teammate. Chris's teammate. He was an awesome character, and like the sacrifice he makes at the end was awesome. So like I don't know, just like you see everybody be a hero in Resident Evil 6, and it was like I don't know. This game's like a feel good kind of game. Like you just see everybody be a hero and save the world. I don't know. You like I should give this game a higher score. Like I don't know why everybody talks crap about this game. But everybody was talking crap about this game, so I came into this game with low expectations. And when I played the game, I was like, you know what, this game is actually pretty good. So, yep, there you go. Resident Evil 6. I had nothing bad to say about the game, man. I gotta say something bad. I mean, I'm talking all this crap about Resident Evil 4. I gotta say something bad about Resident Evil 6. I mean, I don't know what I can say. Well, what's the bad thing about this game? I'm talking all this good stuff about Resident Evil 6. This game should be like number 1. I don't know, something bad about the game. If the Chris campaign and if the Jake campaign was as good as Leon's campaign, this game would be a higher score. Like Chris's campaign is not as good as Leon's campaign. I mean, I'm fine with like shooting zombies like Call of Duty style with Chris's campaign, but I liked the more terrifying, more horrifying direction that Leon's campaign went for. And the whole Call of Duty style action in Chris's campaign was all right, but I would have preferred the Leon's approach to like the zombies coming to eat you, and you got to survive and fight the zombies and not die. That classic horror feeling. I wish they had more of that with the other campaigns. So okay, yeah. Coming in number 5. Oh god, this is so long. Okay, Resident Evil 8, number 5. Oh wow, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 8 made it to top 5. Okay. Resident Evil Village. This game is like a 7. This game was a 7 out of 10 for me. This game was good. I like this game. Man, I might rush through these numbers more because, oh man, my mouth is getting dry, all this talking. I don't know. This game is good. This game runs into the same issue as Resident Evil 7, but when the game hits so good. The castle is beautiful. I love the castle. If they made the entire game the castle, this game would be so good. Oh my god, this game would easily be like an 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10. This game is so good. The castle is so beautiful. Like going through the castle, exploring the castle, and then like, oh my god, the rooms are so beautiful, and like a lot of like, just like, I don't know, you see a lot of like art paintings and like nice like art paintings or like luxurious furniture, the gold and the silver. It was like the castle is so beautiful, man. Like, oh my god, like just exploring that castle. I loved exploring that castle. The castle was so good. And Lady Dimitrescu, I don't know her name. Lady Dimitrescu. She was great. She was basically like kind of like a tyrant, like following you around the mansion, trying to kill you. She was great to fight, and she was charismatic. She had charisma. That was good. And her daughters, the daughters like following you around the castle, really great stuff. Following you, trying to kill you, like it was great. The village, I loved exploring the village. The village was great. Like you could go through the houses, and like you could like feel the life that was in these houses. You could feel the life that these villagers lived, and you could see the pots and the pans, and you can see the bed and the couches, and you could imagine the life that these villagers lived before all hell broke loose. The village and the castle were so good, and I wish the village and the castle were the focus of the game. If they had done that and focused on the village and the castle, this game would have been 8.5 out of 10 for me. But like I said, this game runs into the same issue that Resident Evil 7 ran into, and that was the game loses momentum. The game loses that energy as you progress. There's like a part in the game where you have to go through like the doll maker's house, the ventriloquist house. The house was okay. I liked exploring the house, but the section is highly scripted. The section is highly scripted, and it really does create like a constricted experience. It creates like a constricted experience, and like it does not really allow much opportunity for other experiences to happen. It's just like one single scripted experience, which is fine. I liked exploring the house. The house was pretty. The ventriloquist house was pretty. It was fine, but like I said, it was very constricted and very scripted, and the game just kind of just gets worse as the game progresses. And then you go to the swamp. Oh, the swamp was so ugly. The swamp was so ugly. I did not enjoy the swamp. I wanted the swamp to just hurry up and be done with. I did not like the swamp. And then you go to the factory. The factory, I was not a big fan of the factory either. Fighting the machine monsters was terrifying, but I did not like the factory itself. I did not really care about the factory. The factory was ugly, and I did not like the factory. And so it's like the game starts off so strong with the beautiful castle and the beautiful village, but the game just gets worse. The game just puts you in uglier and uglier locations, like the worse and worse locations. The swamp, the factory. Just no, I did not enjoy that, and I was rushing through those areas because I wanted to hurry up and get those areas over with. So, the game is a 7. The game is a 7 out of 10. I'm going to give the game a 7 out of 10 because the beginning is so strong. And the beginning is so powerful. And like I said with everybody, all you got to do, just play the castle, just play the village. And that is the peak of the game. You don't have to play anymore. Just turn off the game after that. The castle and the village are the best parts of the game. That's all you need to experience. Just turn the game off after that. Yeah. So, I mean, the werewolves were scary. Fighting the werewolf monsters was an interesting, nice change of pace. The werewolf monsters were scary. They scared me. And it was great. It was great. And yeah. The bosses were good. I liked fighting the bosses. They all had like their own unique method of defeating the bosses, and it was interesting trying to figure out how to beat the different bosses. So yeah, I think there you go. This was a good game. It was good, and I will be looking forward to Resident Evil 9. But hopefully, with Resident Evil 9, they don't lose the momentum, and hopefully they can keep the momentum going. Now, this is going to piss some people off. Resident Evil 3 Remake. Oh, man, don't get mad at me, guys. Coming in at number 4, Resident Evil 3 Remake. I never played the original Resident Evil 3, so I don't know what I'm missing out on. So people are like, oh, this game sucks because it's missing the clock tower. I would never know because I never played Resident Evil 3, the original. So, for me, I really liked the game. Resident Evil 3. Is this Resident Evil 3? It's showing a bunch of footage from Resident Evil 2. So, Resident Evil 3 was a great time. I had a great time. This game is like a 7.5. This game, I think this is the only game that maintains the momentum. This game was great to play from beginning to end. I had a solid time playing this game from beginning to end. The game is just very beautiful. The game is beautiful. The game is gorgeous. From the beginning of going through the neon lit Raccoon City to going to the hauntingly beautiful hospital, the abandoned hospital, to going to the laboratory, the futuristic looking laboratory. The game is beautiful the whole way through. I really liked looking at all of the settings and the atmosphere. It was so good. And this game was a little bit more action-packed because you had the dodging system where you could dodge the zombies. If they try to jump at you, you can jump out of the way. So it was great. It was the action was intense. Dodging the zombies and fighting the Nemesis was intense. Yes, the Nemesis was scripted, but I had a fun time fighting Nemesis, and not all of the events were scripted. There was a couple of times in the game where the Nemesis is unscripted, and he's following you and chasing you down, and in a couple areas of the game, and you have the choice to either fight the Nemesis or run away. There was a couple times where you had the option to choose what you want to do with the Nemesis. So I don't know why people keep, the Nemesis is so scripted. There was a couple times where Nemesis was not scripted, and you could fight Nemesis if you wanted to. And you got rewarded with goodies if you fought the Nemesis. So, I don't know. I like this game. It was good. This game is like a 7.5 out of 10 for me. This game was good. I like the game. And honestly, this is the newest Resident Evil game that got the closest. Playing this game, I really felt like this is the closest Capcom ever got to going back to their roots. This is the newest, closest game Capcom ever got to going back to the roots of Resident Evil. This game felt like classic Resident Evil to me, with the zombies and the tyrants and the G virus and the T virus, and it felt like classic Resident Evil with me. And the hospital, I loved the hospital. The hospital was so terrifying. I never felt terror like that. I was so terrified going through that hospital. The hospital just slowly builds up to the hunters, the dinosaur looking monsters. And the game, when you go to the hospital, the game slowly builds up to the hunter dinosaur monsters, because you see the damage that the hunters have done to the hospital, and you see the dead bodies everywhere and the blood everywhere, and you're just what the hell happened to this hospital? And then the hospital just slowly just explains to you, and you slowly figure out what happened, and then you slowly get closer and closer to fighting your first hunter. I did not know there were hunters in this game. So when the game just slowly reveals the hunters to you, and you and you're reading the notes, and you see the blood and the scratches everywhere, you're just oh my god, what the hell am I about to fight? That was true terror. That was terror I have not felt in a long time. The build up to the hunters was terrifying, and oh my god, I never felt scared like that in a long time playing a Resident Evil game. So good. And this is the closest you're ever gonna get to traditional Resident Evil. This is the newest Resident Evil game that you can play that feels like traditional Resident Evil. So I really enjoyed this game, and the game is action packed. It's fun. It's scary. The game maintains momentum throughout the entire game. I don't know what they could have done to make this game better. This is a good game. I've played this game like 4 or 5 times because this game is so good. Ooh, that scared me. I don't know what they could have done to make it better. I don't know. Like, see, it's like I'm getting to the point now where I don't really have any complaints about the games, but it's like, if there's no complaints, I should give the game like a 10 out of 10. I mean, like, was there any part of the game I did not enjoy? I don't think there was any part of this game I did not enjoy. This game should be number one. I should be giving number one to this game. Oh, the game should be longer. I don't know. I'm not really like, oh, my games need to be 100, 200 hours long. I'm not really one of those kinds of people that are like that. I need a long game for a game to be good. The game was short and I liked it. You know, I don't have time to be playing 100-hour plus games, you know. So this game was just the right bite size for me. So I don't know what complaints I have. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the boss fight was great. The boss fight with the Nemesis at the end was great. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I don't have any complaints. This game was good. The game should have a high score. I mean, the boss fights are good. Maybe they could have made the Nemesis a little bit more scarier. Maybe they could have added more non-scripted Nemesis events into the game. They could to make the Nemesis more terrifying. I don't know, because I mean, I thought the Nemesis was going to be terrifying. So now the Nemesis was pretty scary, but like the way people explained the Nemesis to be in the original Resident Evil 3, they made the Nemesis seem like the most scariest monster in the entire world. But the Nemesis was scary for me, but not as scary as everybody made him out to be from the original Resident Evil 3. I remember all my friends talking about Resident Evil 3. Nemesis just sounded absolutely terrifying. So for me to finally go up against the infamous Nemesis that everybody said was so terrifying and scary, to finally go up against the Nemesis, I'm like, he was not as scary. He's not as scary as everybody said that he was. So I think that's everything I got to say. I mean, I still really like Resident Evil 3. This was a very good game. I don't know, man. And I put Resident Evil 0 above Resident Evil 3. I don't even, maybe I need to work on my list. I don't know. Nah, I'm the only reason why I'm giving it to Resident Evil number 3 to Resident Evil 0 is just purely for nostalgia reasons. The only reason why I'm giving it number 3 to Resident Evil 0 is just purely nostalgia, man. I was like 12 years old when I played this game. I liked the game. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, this was a great game. I love the train. The train is so beautiful. This game is a beautiful game. When this game can be pretty ugly, but when this game is beautiful, this game is beautiful. I love the train sequence. The train is hauntingly beautiful, and like, it's such a beautiful and luxurious train. And like, exploring the train, I really enjoyed exploring the hauntingly beautiful train. I really like the train, and but like, this game has the same problem though. The game starts off so strong with the train sequence. Like, I had such a blast exploring the train. I wish the whole game could have been just about the train, but this is the same problem. This game loses momentum. You have to go, after you do the train, you have to go to the factory. You have to go to like the training facility that the okay, why are they showing Resident Evil 1? You have to what? Okay. You have to go to the training warehouse facility, and I don't know. The training warehouse facility was not as enjoyable as the train. It was just kind of like, I don't know. The training warehouse facility is just like had some. There's some ugly rooms in the training facility. The training facilities has some ugly sections to the facility, and I did not really enjoy going through the facility, and I don't know. I mean, but I like Rebecca. I like Billy. They're great characters, and I'm the only reason why I'm putting this game at number 3. It was the nostalgia, man. I had such a good time. I think this was like no wait. This was like one of the first Resident Evil games I played. So to experience Resident Evil for like pretty much like the first time, it was just like a fresh experience for me. And I don't know, everything, like the whole game was just so new to me. And I don't know, it was like scary. The game is like scary with the tyrant and the zombies, and like I don't know, and then like it was nice. It was nice having Billy. It was nice having like a teammate by her, because usually in like this is like the first time you had like a teammate by your side, because usually you play Resident Evil games, you're by yourself. So it was nice to have like your teammate backing you up and helping you out fight the zombies. And it just kind of like, it was a different experience. It was different back then. You like, because Resident Evil 2 you're by yourself, Resident Evil 1 you're by yourself. So to have somebody by your side in Resident Evil 0 was a nice change of pace. I liked it. The leech monsters like scared the crap out of me. But like this game has some very beautiful the times where you do experience the beauty of Resident Evil 0 are really beautiful. The whole train section is beautiful. No, move. Go back. There's a couple rooms in the training facility that are beautiful. The chess room, the room with the chess pieces was a beautiful room. That hallway that you go, like the church, you go inside a church, and there's like a hallway with all these elaborate decorations and all these elaborate paintings, and there's like gold and silver lining. There's like some really beautiful rooms in Resident Evil 0, and I really enjoyed exploring those rooms. This game gets an 8 out of 10 for me. Yeah, I think that's everything I need to say about Resident Evil 0. Oh my god, can you guys like chill out so I can make my video? Chill out. I don't know what could they, I mean, like I said, what they could have done to make the game better. I mean, like I said, move back. What could they have done to make the game better? There's a lot of ugly sections in the game. If there was more beauty to this game, I think I would have enjoyed the game even more. But like I said, I enjoyed this game just because I was young. I was 12 years old. I was experiencing Resident Evil for like the first time, and everything was so new and fresh to me. And the game was so hauntingly beautiful. Like when the game was beautiful, it was so beautiful. It was like, So it was a good time. Good time. 8 out of 10. All right, we're going to top 2. Top 2. Oh, crap. I was so divided, man. I was so divided. I wanted to give... I really wanted to make Resident Evil 1 Remake my number 1 game. I really wanted to, but I had to do some hard thinking, and I had to acknowledge that this game does have some flaws. I really wanted to give number 1 to Resident Evil 1 Remake, but I have to acknowledge the flaws of this game, and I have to accept that. All right. This game is terrifying. This game is the most terrifying, probably the most terrifying Resident Evil I've ever played. Golly, the zombies, man. When you're walking through the rooms, and the zombies are like getting really close to you, and like you have to like, because you have to like try to like go around the zombies, or you have to save your ammunition. This game was really heavy on survival horror, and you had to save your ammunition. If you did not save your ammunition, you would run out of ammo, and how are you going to be able to survive now if you run out of ammo? And this game was really good on survival horror. This game was so scary. The zombies are so terrifying. Trying to fight the zombies in the tight corridors of the mansion, in the small small and thin hallways, the small rooms. This game was so like was so claustrophobic, man. And you're stuck in this mansion with all. You're stuck in a mansion filled with like a bunch of zombies, and you would try to like go around the zombies or dodge the zombies, and the zombies would grab you and bite you and eat you, and blood would spray everywhere. This game was a beautiful game. This game is still beautiful. To this day, I will still play this game, and this game will blow my mind. I'm like, oh my god, this game is gorgeous. And this game was made in 2002. This game was made in 2002, and like that's like 22 years ago. And to this day, the game still holds up so well. And the game is so beautiful. Like the mansion is so hauntingly beautiful. I loved the mansion. I loved exploring the mansion and like exploring the rooms and just imagining what life was like before the mansion turned into a hellish landscape. And it was like the beautiful rooms and just under the architecture, I don't even know what kind of architecture this mansion was, but it was like very beautiful architecture. You know, like you go through the rooms, like the beautiful furniture, the beautiful paintings, the beautiful art. And then like there's like some really beautiful rooms in here that are beautiful, and it's like some really beautiful rooms. Like when you go into Spencer's room, the rooms seal the deal for me, man. So some of these rooms are the most beautiful rooms I've ever, like some of the most beautiful places that I've ever been to, like in a virtual environment, and possibly possibly life itself. Like some of the most beautiful rooms. And Spencer's room is beautiful. Like it's like an office. It's like an office with like books and a desk and a chair, and there's like an open window, and there's like a breeze blowing in, and it's just like so calming and relaxing. Like being in that room with the books and the table, the desk and the chair, and there's like a coffee mug, right? There's like a coffee mug on the desk. It's like you want to sit in that chair and you want to relax in that office and drink like a cup of hot chocolate or something, and feel the breeze from the outside, the breeze of the wind from the outside blowing at your face, and you can just relax amidst all of the terror and the horror of the mansion. This game is just so beautiful. When this game hits super hard. And oh my god, those puppies. This game runs into the same issues as the other Resident Evil games. The game loses steam, the game loses momentum, and I have to acknowledge it. As much as I love this game, I have to acknowledge the drawbacks of the game. The mansion is the strongest point of the game, and I wish the game just focused on the mansion. But you know, as again, the game loses steam, and you have to go to these other locations that are just not as good. The cabin was all right. I enjoyed the cabin. The cabin was fine. They could have just had the cabin and the mansion, and I would have been perfectly fine with that. I would have been perfectly satisfied. But you got to go to the caves. I did not like the caves. I did not enjoy the caves. The caves was ugly. I did not like the caves. The caves was ugly. I didn't like the caves. And I wanted to hurry up and just get the caves over with. The laboratory The laboratory is honestly kind of ugly, and I did not really enjoy the atmosphere of the laboratory. And I honestly just wanted to get I just want to get the laboratory over with. The the strongest point of the game was the mansion, and I wish the focus of the game was the mansion. And this game would have been so good, like a 9 out of 10 for me. So good. When this game hits, the game hits so hard. But like, I will admit the game does lose steam when you're kind of like forced to go through the caves and the laboratory, and I really did not enjoy those areas. So I was forced to go through areas that I did not enjoy. They're just so ugly and like tedious, and I just did not enjoy. Okay. Number 1. Resident Evil 2. I had to think long and hard about this. But I have to be honest with myself. I had to be honest with myself. Look, I know you love Resident Evil 1 Remake, man, but you got to be honest with yourself. Resident Evil 2 Remake is the best Resident Evil of all time. This game is so good. This is the best Resident Evil game of all time. This game is like a 9 out of 10 for me. Resident Evil 1 Remake is like an 8.5 out of 10 for me. Resident Evil 2 Remake is like a 9 out of 10 for me. This game was so good. I loved... This game is beautiful. This game is so beautiful. The Raccoon City... Raccoon City Police Department is beautiful. Like the police department is so beautiful. I had such a joy exploring the police department and exploring all these rooms and just looking at the glamour. Like this is a really beautiful police department, man. For like a police department, this is a really beautiful police department. Like the architecture, the scenery, the atmosphere, the decor, the furniture, the paintings. This police department is a very beautiful department. It was like very luxurious. Like, I don't know, these police officers were having a good time at this police department. This is a very beautiful department. So I really liked exploring. And Mr. X is scary. Mr. X scares the crap out of you. Mr. X follows you everywhere, and Mr. X, he follows you everywhere, and Mr. X is trying to kill you. And, you know, Mr. X was just so scary. And, like, Mr. X was just totally unscripted. You never knew when Mr. X was going to pop up out of nowhere and smack you in the face. And, like, Mr. X was so scary. And it was fun just like seeing like the crazy situations you would get into Mr. X just coming out of nowhere and just beating the crap out of you. And I had a lot of fun, like just like blowing the shit, like blowing up Mr. X with grenade launchers and rocket launchers or machine guns, and just, you know, just shooting at him and blowing him up, and just with bombs, and just seeing like how crazy the game could get. And like it was interesting, just like, you know, just see what kind of shenanigans you could get with Mr. X, and to see what you can get away with him. And you would like shoot him in the face with a rocket launcher, and Mr. X would just like be like totally unscathed from the rocket launcher you shot at him, and he would just walk right through that rocket launcher blast and just punch you in the face. And this game was crazy. It was a good time. It was great. This game was, I really liked this game was very open-ended. You were able to explore the police department at your own pace, and you were able to go at your own, and everything was open. There was no, it was very open and very, you could go wherever you want at your own pace, as fast as you want, where you want, however you want to do it. And it was just like, it was great. And it really gave you like a sense of like freedom. And it was great. And I think like the entire map was like, because like other like Resident Evil like games, they're kind of like layered out like a level format, but in this game, the whole game is connected together. Oh my god! This whole game was like connected together, in one complete open-ended like format. Everything was together, connected together, one open-ended format. It was great. It really made you like have a sense of like scope and freedom, and you could go. You would think the sections would be separated like in other Resident Evil games, like a level, but you could actually go from here all the way over here to over here, all the way over here, all the way to over here. You could go anywhere on the map, anywhere at any time, and it was like very, very free, very liberating. So, the game does drag a little bit with the sewer area. I don't really care about the sewer area. Like I said, sewer was very ugly. I wanted to get the sewer area over with. That dragged. So the sewer area, like, drags the game a little bit. That holds back the game a little bit. The laboratory was great. The laboratory was beautiful. I loved exploring the laboratory. Laboratory was great. The climax, Leon's campaign, and the climax with when you finally got to go up against Mr. X in the final battle was so epic and so intense. It was so great. It like got my adrenaline pumping. And then to fight William Birkin, you got to fight Mr. X, the final boss, and you got to fight William Birkin, the final boss. So it's like you go like from this boss to the other boss, and you're like, oh my god, I just beat William Birkin. Now I gotta fight Mr. X. Like, oh my god, the game just like throws like epic battle. Just when you think you're done, like the game throws another epic battle at you, and you're just like, oh my god, you're just like exhausted and you're drained. Like, oh my god, I don't know if I have it in me to fight another boss. And then you gotta sheer will and sheer determination. You gotta give everything you got so you can win this final battle and like, save the world. And it was just like, oh my god, it was so epic and so intense. This game was great. I don't have any. I really don't have any complaints. I like the rewards too. Like if you finish the game faster, you get like the infinite rocket launcher or something, or infinite ammo, or the like special weapons. I like the rewards you got if you finish the game faster. So like there was like challenges that you had to go for. And then there's even more extra content in the game. What was it like you play it like as like you have to play like as a girl, like a defenseless girl, and you have to like try to go through Raccoon City with like, what did you have like no? Did you have any guns or ammunition or anything with the girl? You had to go through Raccoon City as like a defenseless girl and like try to not die. And like they're throwing zombie dogs and zombies and monsters at you and trying to not die. There's like so much content in this game, and the content is good. It's not bad content. It's good content. The content is so good, and there's like so many goodies to unlock and secrets to discover, and challenges for you to overcome. This is a great game. This is a great game. Great game. No complaints. No complaints. The only complaint I have about is the sewer area. The sewer drag. And also, this game is missing some content from Resident Evil 2, the original Resident Evil 2. There's a couple of cutscenes that Leon and Claire have in the original Resident Evil 2 that are not in Resident Evil 2 Remake. But I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's no big deal. This game is so amazing that I can overlook the missed content. Some of the missed content from the original Resident Evil 2. Best Resident Evil game of all time, Resident Evil 2. And that is my list. Thank you everybody for watching. Have a good one. This video is like an hour long, so I'm done. So have a good one, everyone. And bye. Hope you liked my list, or you got something out of my list, or hope you enjoyed this video to some extent. Got something out of this video. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.